For as far back as I can remember, London has always been my city. Yes, it's changed over the years, but it's still the city I know and it's still mine. I love London and I will never leave. One typical cold, cloudy London night, I walked along the south bank of the River Thames. I was walking with no purpose, just at a loose end. Walking to walk. My mind was deep in thought and on how much this city has changed. I looked, marvelling at the Tower of London. His brick towers, turrets, and mortar are so wonderfully drenched in the blood of such beautifully brutal history. To my frustration, my thoughts were interrupted by a loud, shrilly scream coming from the river's edge. Upon looking over the rain, I saw a man 12 feet below on the stony muddy bank. He was somewhat tall, about 6'1", dressed in a rather smart grey suit. The man was shrieking in terror, crying for the figure about 6 yards before him to leave him alone. The weird figure was a mystery to me, about 6 foot, wearing old Celtic robes, which surrounded its face, or what I imagined to be its face. It had broad arms, and had a thumb and 2 fingers on what seemed to be hands. Its robe lined the river bank around it. From the way it moved, it seemed it had legs too. The figure loud and violently hissed at the man before him in ancient Gaelic. I only managed to catch one word: domain. "Excuse me," I called down to the figure, now only standing 3 feet from its victim. "Would you mind repeating that in English, please? I don't think the man understands." The foul beast then roared, with clear translation, "This man is in my domain. This has always been my domain. To trespass is to know death." The figure locked eyes at his trespasser and reassumed its advance. I was angered by the beast's words and decided to speak up in a more unforgiving tone. "Your domain? Well, I should tell you, foul creature." The creature spun from its victim and hurried towards me, his face shadowed by his cloak. I could feel the hint of terror in the eyes as I leapt from my place, met it nose to darkness, and tipped my hat back to meet its gaze. In a blunt voice I spoke. "It is you who trespasses on another's domain, and this will not be tolerated. Are we clear?" Words were exchanged, and it seemed the creature and I arrived to an understanding. It made a swift, panicked exit towards the murk of the water and disappeared from view. The feeble man approached me, trembling from terror. I stared down at him, waiting what meek words were about to force through his quivering mouth. Thank you, sir," he sheepishly bleated. I nodded and readjusted my hat. The poor man, he should have just left it be. He made the mistake of asking, "Did you save me because you're a demon hunter?" "No," I barked, as I slashed his face with my claws. "I did it because I, like that creature, am very territorial." The man screamed and ran, his pathetic face in ribbons, as I leapt back to my path to continue my stroll. As I walked along the dull flow of the Thames, I began to question whether the people of London remember me. I concluded that it was perhaps time to again make London aware of my presence, and let them once again fear the name Spring-Heeled Jack.